Hi, I'm Phoebe, I'm 17, I'm type 1 diabetic and I'm the author of No Added Sugar, and this is my fourth video blog for Diabetes Week. So I looked at my calendar this morning and I realised that it's exactly a month until the start of the summer holidays, and so bearing that in mind and also in the hope that the great British weather will get its act together and give us some sunshine this summer, I thought that today I would talk about heat waves and holidays when you've got type 1 diabetes. Now, I suppose the first thing you have to take into account with diabetes when the weather's hot is that it can make your blood sugar levels fall, because hot weather can make insulin more active, meaning that you might go hypo if you don't keep a check on your sugar levels. And so I find if I'm out in the garden, in the sun, or out on the beach when it's hot, I might need that ice cream or some kind of snack just to stop me going low. Of course, over a longer period of time, a better thing to do might be to lower your insulin. So for instance, usually if I go on holiday, if it's somewhere hot, I'll lower my Lantus by about 20%, and that usually works for me and stops me from going hypo because of the heat. Another thing to consider with the heat is that it's not just when the insulin's in your body that it can be affected by the hot weather, but also the insulin which is in a cartridge needs to be kept cool as well. And something which my diabetes nurse has introduced me to, which has been a lifesaver really, are Frio wallets. And they're basically pouches that have got crystals in them, and when you activate them by putting them in tepid water and leaving them to soak for about 5 minutes, the crystals will swell up. Here's one I prepared earlier. It's like Blue Peter, I've always wanted to say that. And you put your insulin in there and it will keep it at room temperature for a few days before you have to reactivate it again. So I've got a couple of Frio wallets, so once one's run out and I need to reactivate it, I can just switch it over into the other, and so it doesn't need to be left out in the open for any length of time. I do always, though, if I'm relying on them to keep my cartridges, my spare cartridges, as well as the one that I'm using cool, like if I'm on holiday, if there's not a fridge in the accommodation, then I always throw away the spare cartridges as well when I get back, because of course insulin denatures if it's left at room temperature for any length of time, because it needs to be refrigerated, and if it can't be refrigerated then it goes out of date within 28 days and won't work properly anymore. So that's another thing which is important to remember. Also, if you're going on holiday, another thing you should think about really is about your supplies, because obviously it would be a nightmare to be away from home for any length of time and not have insulin or test strips or any of the supplies that you need to manage your diabetes. What I usually do if I'm going on holiday, we'll put in extra prescriptions for a few weeks beforehand just to stockpile insulin and test strips and lancets and needles and things like that. And that's just so that if there's any problems at the pharmacy getting the supplies, I should still have enough to be able to go on holiday. A guideline which my diabetes nurse has told me is to take roughly double the amount you think you'll need of anything, just to make sure that if there are any delays or any problems while you're on holiday, or you need more than you thought you would of something, that you don't run out. And also, a final thing, if you're going on holiday, especially if you're going somewhere foreign and you're travelling by plane, you should get a letter from your doctor or from someone in your diabetes team just to confirm that you need to take needles and medical equipment onto the plane. I've never been stopped before going through customs and asked about it. The needles and stuff just in the hand luggage just go through the scanner like normal. No one's ever asked me about it before, but it's a good idea just to have your letter to hand in case someone does just pick it up, just so that you can verify and prove that you do need to take it onto the plane and that it's important and they shouldn't have any issue with it at all. Also, the other thing you need to consider with insulin and medical supplies in hand luggage, if you're travelling with other people, it's probably a good idea to split the supplies between different pieces of hand luggage, just in case your bag is lost or stolen. So when I go on holiday, usually I'll have some stuff in my handbag, my mum will have some stuff in hers, and my dad and my brother might have some things in their pieces of hand luggage as well, just to split it, just in case anything's lost. And insulin definitely has to be in your hand luggage, and for that matter all your supplies should be in your hand luggage, because insulin freezes if it goes in the hold and becomes unusable. And also just imagine if your baggage was lost somehow, if there was some sort of mistake with the baggage handling, it'd be an absolute nightmare to be stranded in a foreign country and not have any supplies. I think that's the main points covered with heat waves and holidays and type 1 diabetes. So I'll be doing another blog tomorrow, and I'll see you then.